What is up, you guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to grind all the sharp edges off of your stained glass. Besides saving your fingers from being sliced off, grinding the glass is going to fix any imperfections left from the cutting process, as well as provide a better stick during our next step and also my next video, copper foiling. So let's get started. Okay guys, so before I do anything, I'm putting on my safety glasses. Glass is going to be flying absolutely everywhere, and it sucks when it gets in your eyes. So, this box right here is a glass grinder, and underneath the plastic grate is your water basin. The water basin is going to catch all of your ground shards and what I call glass mud. Glass mud is basically just the wet sand made from the ground glass, and it is kind of gross, but you need to take care of it. So, before every grinding session, or whenever a layer of that glass mud is built up on the bottom, you need to clean it out. I use this metal spatula just to scoop it all out, and if I need to add more water or replace it completely, I'll do that. Okay, so I just finished cleaning out my basin, poured some fresh water in, and placed my wet sponge behind my grinding bit so it'll continuously keep the bit and glass wet. Keeping that sponge, bit, and glass wet keeps everything cool, and it prevents glass dust particles from flying into the air. All glass grinds differently, but as I always say, the more you work with glass, the easier it's going to be to learn. So I've already got my glasses on, my grinding smock. I'm just going to cover my camera with this shower cap, and we can get started. So this red button down here that's on the bottom right hand side of the grinder is your on switch. So I'm just going to turn that on, and now our grinding bit is spinning super fast. So our sponge is snug up against our bit, and we're ready to grind. So just grabbing my first piece, holding it tight but not enough to slice my fingers, and gently pressing it up against that grinding bit. I'm holding my piece above the grid to hit basically an unused spot of that grinding bit for faster grinding. Generally, you're going to lay your glass piece on top of the grid like I am right now, and just gently slide it up against your bit and in the opposite direction in which the bit is spinning. As I mentioned previously, all glass grinds differently, and basically that means it can grind away quicker or slower, or even some iridescence will chip if you push too hard or are using a bit with too coarse of a grit. So again, practice makes perfect. So same thing for all these pieces, guys, just repeating those steps for every edge, not pushing super hard, really just letting the grinder do the work. And I'm going to speed you guys up here a bit until my next tip. Okay, so now I'm stopping and just quickly change my grinding bit to a much smaller option. This bit is going to be a tiny 1/4 inch wide, and it can be used for drilling holes, or what I'm going to be doing, a concave edge. So all grinding bits will require, but they're also going to come with an Allen wrench to tighten on or loosen off your bit. On the grinding shaft itself, you will always find a flat side, which is where your grinding bit screw is going to tighten into. So as you can see here, this bit is definitely a lot smaller and tiny in comparison to your normal 1/2 inch bit. So this is going to allow you to grind into or around much smaller spaces. So before you put it on, you want to make sure everything is clean so it doesn't get stuck on that grinding shaft. And I'm just going to line up my bit screw with that flat side of the shaft and tighten it on. Okay, so since I just changed my bit, I'm going to re-wet my sponge. And normally we can put our sponge right into our water basin and up against the bit, but because these bits are really designed to sit on top of your normal 1/2 inch, it wouldn't be anywhere near the sponge, which poses a problem. So to ensure our glass and bit are going to have that constant supply of water, we're going to have to soak my sponge and just hold it on or near that glass to constantly deliver water. So I find for me it's easiest to just pool water on top of the glass and kind of just slowly let it run or get pulled into the bit as I grind. And then I'll re-soak it again when I need it. So now that I've shown you how I grind with this bit, I'm just going to be doing the same thing overall. I'm going over all of my Sharpie marked areas, which I showed in my previous glass cutting video, and hitting all these edges. Then I'm going to be putting the other bit back on. I will say, using these 1/4 inch tiny bits can be tricky, but for the 5 millionth time, all it takes is practice. I could go over so many tips and tricks for every single step in stained glass, but nothing could ever do as much as just hands-on practice. And again, everyone does it differently. I can't tell you how many times I've had other makers online literally reach out to me just to tell me I wasn't doing something right, but it turns out I just wasn't doing it their way. Now I'm lucky enough to have a lifelong glass maker I can just reach out to if I do have any questions, and hopefully you guys will be meeting her when I take you to the glass store with me next week. So again, guys, I've just switched my bit back to the standard size, and I'm going to be going over all my remaining unground edges. I do want to stress again that you do not need to push super hard in your grinder. This is definitely a mistake I made when I first started. If you're feeling like it's not cutting quick enough, then you need a new bit or even just a coarser grit. Pushing super hard is only going to heighten the chances of you slicing your fingers or damaging your grinder. And I will tell you right now, once you start, you will be slicing your fingers, so anticipate that. It's not that bad though. So with all that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. As always, I will have any tools I used in this video linked down below, as well as my Etsy shop and my Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below, and if not, I hope to see you in my next video. I hope you have a fantastic day, and good luck crafting. Bye!